The crimson console panel hummed with a low thrum as Amara traced the glowing pathways woven across its surface. Each line pulsed with digital energy, translating the ancient stellar script into something comprehensible to human minds. Rhiannon watched her mentor's every move, a knot of anxiety tightening in her chest. The weight of the cosmic convergence protocol rested heavily upon them both, a responsibility heavier than any sun-forged armor. There, Amara said, tapping a point on the panel that flared with an intense white light. This is the central node, the heart of the convergence field. Rhiannon peered closer. The image projected before them shifted, morphing into a vast network of interconnected nodes pulsing across the star map. Radiant points of light danced between constellations, forming an intricate web spanning galaxies. "How does it work?" Rhiannon asked, her voice barely a whisper. A gentle smile touched Amara's lips as she turned to face Rhiannon. Her eyes, normally serene and contemplative, now held a flicker of ancient power. The convergence field acts as a bridge between the stellar streams, channels of pure cosmic energy, she explained, tracing one glowing line with her finger. Think of it as a conduit for destiny. Rhiannon shivered. This intricate web wasn't just a map, it was a tapestry woven across eons, connecting every starborn to a shared destiny. But if the protocol is activated, won't it disrupt the balance? She asked, her brow furrowing with concern. Balance can be subjective, Amara replied cryptically, her gaze hardening with conviction. Some might call it an imbalance that needs correction, a shift in the celestial tides. The shadows danced around them, casting elongated silhouettes against the shimmering console, a sense of foreboding creeping into Rhiannon's heart. The weight of those shifts felt immense, like holding the fragile threads of cosmic fate in her hands. The obsidian mirror, reflecting Amara's serious countenance, mirrored Rhiannon's own apprehension. She knew her journey was about to lead them down a path fraught with uncertainty. Yet, despite the unease gnawing at her insides, she clung to her hope, a flickering ember fueled by the unwavering conviction that even amidst cosmic chaos, there remained the possibility of forging a brighter future. A shift in cosmic tides, Rhiannon murmured, the phrase lingering like an ominous half-remembered dream. But who decides what constitutes balance? Who gets to hold such power? Amara's gaze deepened, her eyes fixed on the pulsing network of stellar streams before them. There are those who believe the universe requires guidance, she said, her voice soft but firm. Those who see the convergence as a natural correction, a necessary realignment. Rhiannon frowned. But at what cost? What if this correction is more destructive than helpful? Amara met her gaze directly, her expression resolute. That is the risk we take, she conceded, but inaction carries its own peril. The current trajectory is unsustainable. The cosmos bleeds into itself. She tapped a point on the console, illuminating a star system swirling with chaotic energy. This one, for example, stands at the precipice of collapse. Without intervention, it will drag others down into darkness. Rhiannon's heart sank. Was there truly no alternative? Could they not find another way to heal the wounds tearing apart the fabric of existence? What if, she began hesitantly, what if we could amplify the positive aspects of the convergence, guide its flow towards healing instead of destruction? Amara paused, her brow furrowed as she considered Rhiannon's suggestion. A sliver of hope flickered in her gaze. That is an intriguing proposition, she finally admitted, one worth exploring. She turned back to the console, her fingers dancing over the control panel with newfound vigor. There are ancient texts, she said, her voice buzzing with anticipation, mentioning alternative pathways, unorthodox methods of manipulation, hidden within the very heart of the core. But these paths are treacherous, fraught with unknown consequences. Rhiannon felt a chill run down her spine, but her determination remained undying. Then we take the risk, she declared, placing her hand firmly on Amara's shoulder. We explore every possibility until we find a solution that leads us away from darkness. Amara returned Rhiannon's gaze with a newfound warmth, a shared understanding passing between them. They had embarked on a perilous journey, one that could reshape the destiny of countless worlds. We begin with the Stella Codex, Amara stated, her fingers tracing luminous symbols etched into the console's surface. It holds ancient records of past convergence manipulations, successes and failures. Rhiannon tilted her head as she studied the holographic projections swirling around them. Images of celestial events flickered in tandem with constellations that pulsed like beating hearts. Do these texts offer concrete solutions, or are they merely cryptic riddles? A knowing smile touched Amara's lips. Solutions often come disguised as riddles, Rhiannon, she replied, her voice laced with wisdom. To decipher them requires not only knowledge, but a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. She tapped a series of glyphs, causing a dense tapestry of light to erupt into existence above the console. This particular excerpt, it speaks of a celestial conduit known as the Nova Nexus. It's said to be a nexus point where cosmic energies converge with unparalleled intensity, capable of amplifying those energies for either benevolent or destructive purposes. Rhiannon gazed upon the swirling constellations forming an intricate vortex within the projection. A double-edged sword, she murmured. Indeed, Amara acknowledged. Accessing the Nova Nexus is perilous. It lies on the fringe of known space, a volatile region known as the Abyssal Expanse. One legend tells of ships consumed by gravitational anomalies, navigators driven mad by cosmic currents. A chill snaked down Rhiannon's spine, but she resolutely met Amara's gaze. Then let us venture into the abyss, she declared, her voice resolute. Surely, the potential for healing outweighs the inherent risks. Amara nodded, a glimmer of admiration in her eyes. Your courage is admirable, Rhiannon, but we need more than bravery to navigate this perilous path. Her gaze swept across the console, landing on a cluster of intricate gears embedded within its core. We need a navigator who can decipher the ancient charts and guide us through the treacherous currents of the abyssal expanse. There's one who might fit that description, Amara said, her voice hushed. She swiveled a dial on the console, bringing up a projected hologram of a grizzled woman with piercing blue eyes and hair threaded silver like starlight. Her face was weathered, etched with lines that spoke of countless voyages through uncharted territories. Captain Valeria Zenith. She's a renowned cartographer, rumored to possess intimate knowledge even of the most perilous cosmic currents. Rhiannon's gaze lingered on the projection. But she's a legend, Rhiannon murmured, skepticism tinging her tone. Many believe her tales to be fantastical embellishments. Amara shrugged, a hint of a smile playing on her lips. Legends often hold more truth than we dare acknowledge. She brought up a transmission log containing numerous verified sightings and accounts of Zenith's daring exploits. Rhiannon skimmed the entries, her initial skepticism slowly giving way to grudging respect. Here was proof, maps charting regions beyond the known expanse, navigational calculations defying conventional physics, first-hand accounts of encounters with celestial phenomena thought to be mere myth. She's bold, Rhiannon conceded, perhaps even reckless, but also undeniably skilled. A wave of doubt crashed over her. How do we reach her? She avoids contact with authorities. Amara's smile widened, a glint of excitement in her eyes. That, my dear Rhiannon, is where your ingenuity comes into play. We will use Zenith's fascination with the obscure to our advantage. Rhiannon raised an eyebrow, intrigued. There are rumors circulating through certain underground forums about a collection of ancient artifacts hidden on a remote moon, Amara explained. Artifacts said to possess unimaginable power and capable of manipulating cosmic energies. She looked at Rhiannon with a challenge in her gaze. Zenith has been searching for them. We appeal to her curiosity by offering information that points to their location, provided she agrees to assist us in our quest. Rhiannon's mind raced, weighing the implications. It was a risky gambit, using an unreliable maverick and exploiting rumors to achieve their goals. But it presented their best chance of securing Zenith's expertise, of reaching the Nova Nexus. It's a gamble, Rhiannon admitted cautiously, but sometimes the most rewarding journeys are paved with risk. The hum of the console grew louder as Amara finalized the transmission sequence, her fingers flying across its surface. A holographic message coalesced before them, a coded invitation carefully designed to pique Zenith's interest and set in motion a chain of events that could alter their destiny. We appeal to her curiosity by offering information that points to their location, Amara stated, a confident smile playing on her lips. Zenith has been searching for them. Rhiannon's mind raced. Offering clues about the artifacts could entice Zenith, but was it a risk worth taking? Could they lure such a maverick player into their web, or would she ultimately prove too unpredictable? A risky gamble, she conceded, weighing the potential benefits against the inherent dangers. Amara merely nodded, her gaze fixed on the console before them. It is sometimes necessary to navigate perilous depths in search of treasures hidden within the abyss. She gestured toward a holographic projection shimmering above the control panel, depicting a star system nestled at the edge of known space. Our coded message should resonate with Zenith's insatiable curiosity for lore and her yearning for the unknown. A flicker of apprehension danced across Rhiannon's features. Do we have proof that Zenith is actively seeking these artifacts? She questioned. Amara tapped a series of glyphs onto the console, causing intricate star charts to pulse into existence. Rumors circulating within certain underground forums suggest she's obsessed with unraveling ancient mysteries and unearthing lost civilizations, Amara explained. These whispered tales often mention her pursuit of artifacts possessing unimaginable power, celestial relics capable of manipulating cosmic energies. She paused, letting the weight of the implications sink in. Even if these rumors are true, Rhiannon continued, skeptical, how can we be certain Zenith will heed our call? A glint of steel materialized within Amara's sapphire eyes. She values autonomy and knowledge above all else. Our offer to provide access to a trail leading to those elusive artifacts. It plays into her desires, Amara countered confidently. We must frame it as an opportunity for shared discovery, appealing to both her ambition and her respect for hidden lore. Should she prove trustworthy, Zenith's expertise could be instrumental in navigating the treacherous currents of the abyssal expanse. Rhiannon remained unconvinced. Trusting an individual like Zenith, it feels precarious at best, she admitted. Amara's lips curled into a subtle smile. Precariousness often yields unexpected rewards, she replied, her voice laced with intrigue. A low hum emanated from the console as Amara adjusted the parameters of their transmission. The holographic projection shimmered, its code unfolding beneath Rhiannon's scrutinizing gaze. A carefully crafted invitation designed to pique Zenith's interest and lay the groundwork for a clandestine alliance. Rhiannon exhaled softly. Despite her lingering doubts, she couldn't deny the allure of this gamble. There was a thrill in seizing the unknown, in venturing into those uncharted territories where legends were born. Let us hope, Rhiannon murmured, more to herself than to Amara, that we haven't bitten off more than we can chew. As the transmission sequence reached its conclusion, a vibrant surge of energy pulsed through the console. The holographic image flickered one final time before fading into silence. Amara watched the holographic image fade, a thoughtful expression gracing her features. Captain Zenith's response time will be telling, she mused, her voice echoing softly in the dimly lit chamber. Direct contact with those who operate on shadows and secrets demands patience. Rhiannon shifted her weight nervously, a tremor of apprehension weaving through her. Do you think she will agree? The risks inherent in venturing into the abyssal expanse are considerable, even with Zenith's navigation skills. Amara chuckled, a reassuring light twinkling in her eyes. Zenith thrives on navigating the perilous paths untrodden by others. Her reputation for daring often precedes her. She tapped another sequence of glyphs onto the console, activating a secondary display that glowed with faint constellations. However, she added, glancing at the star chart, her vessels are notoriously solitary. Reaching her directly requires precision. Then we must ensure our message shines like a beacon in the endless expanse, Rhiannon said, her voice imbued with a newfound resolve. Indeed, Amara agreed, her gaze returning to the swirling constellation patterns projected onto the control panel. She operates by her own compass, her whims as fickle as the tides of space itself. Our challenge lies not in persuasion, but in presenting an opportunity she finds too compelling to resist. Rhiannon's brow furrowed slightly. And what chance do we have of achieving that? We offer information, yes, but at what cost? Amara placed a reassuring hand upon Rhiannon's shoulder, her touch firm yet gentle. The cost, she said, her voice holding an unwavering conviction, is a partnership forged in the crucible of risk. If Zenith accepts our proposition, we gain more than just a skilled navigator. We secure an expert intimately familiar with the hidden pathways of the cosmos. She stepped back, allowing Rhiannon to absorb her words. But, she added, turning towards the holographic star map, we must tread carefully. Zenith is as wary of alliances as she is drawn to forbidden knowledge. Any hint of deceit or ulterior motives will send her scurrying into the void. Rhiannon nodded slowly, understanding dawning in her eyes. The weight of their gamble settled upon her shoulders. Then let us ensure this message resonates, Rhiannon said, her voice taking on a steely determination. We offer her not submission, but partnership, and a chance to rewrite her legends. The transmission sequence is complete, Amara announced, her voice filled with a quiet anticipation. She gestured to the shimmering holographic display, on which intricate patterns of light danced, morphing into a complex constellation map. Zenith's vessel will pick up our signal among countless others. We've woven it into the very fabric of their travel routes. Rhiannon leaned closer, her gaze tracing the paths depicted by the swirling code. Even so, she mused, it's a gamble trusting that an individual like Zenith will heed our call. Amara met Rhiannon's worried look with a reassuring smile. Those who navigate by starlight often crave untrodden paths, she replied, her voice calm yet fervent. Our proposal offers both knowledge and danger, the kind of allure she can't resist. Rhiannon watched as the holographic map shifted, constellations bleeding seamlessly into one another. And if she accepts? Rhiannon's voice held a mix of hope and uncertainty. Then we secure passage through the abyssal expanse, Amara affirmed, her eyes gleaming with newfound purpose. Zenith's expertise in navigating those treacherous currents is unmatched. Her vessel can decipher the hidden patterns within space-time itself. A surge of excitement coursed through Rhiannon, tempered by a flicker of anxiety. But what if her terms are too steep? What if she demands more than we're willing to offer? Amara tilted her head, her expression thoughtful. Then we reevaluate our options, she said, her voice unwavering. If our goals clash with Zenith's desires, we part ways amicably. She paused, allowing for a moment of contemplation before continuing. However, trust me, Rhiannon, when it comes to navigating the unknowns, there are few as accomplished as Captain Zenith. Rhiannon nodded slowly, her apprehension easing slightly. As a fierce determination settled within her, she straightened her posture. Then let us wait and see what fate has in store, she declared, her voice resonating with newfound confidence. If Zenith accepts our offer, this perilous journey may just lead us to the very secrets we seek. A tense silence descended upon them, broken only by the soft hum emanating from the advanced console. Rhiannon and Amara remained locked in a silent vigil, their gazes fixed on the holographic map that pulsed with celestial code. Each passing moment felt heavy with anticipation, the weight of their decisions settling like a tangible force within the chamber. Would their gamble pay off? Would Captain Zenith answer their call? Zenith's vessels are renowned for their stealth, Amara mused, her gaze tracing the intricate lines of the holographic star chart. They navigate through hyperspace channels unseen by most scanners, appearing and disappearing like phantoms. Rhiannon nodded, a knot of concern tightening in her chest. Yet, we chose to send our message on an established trade route, a direct path she'd be unlikely to avoid. A ghost of a smile touched Amara's lips. Precisely. It's a calculated risk. We made the offer irresistible, woven into the very fabric of known hyperspace lanes, ensuring it couldn't be ignored. Rhiannon tilted her head, studying the holographic map. If she accepts, we are at her mercy. A wave of unease washed over her. And what if her demands exceed our resources? Amara's brow furrowed, then relaxed as a plan began forming in her mind. We offer knowledge, she said, her voice regaining its usual confident tone. Information they desperately crave, data on interdimensional phenomena, advanced tech blueprints, even historical archives detailing forgotten civilizations. She paused, letting the weight of those words settle. Our expertise complements her navigation skills. We are not mere passengers seeking passage. We are partners in exploration, offering a unique skill set that benefits both parties. A glimmer of hope sparked within Rhiannon. You've calculated this meticulously, she mused, a sense of admiration creeping into her voice. Amara met her gaze with unwavering conviction. There are always contingencies. Our original goal, reaching the heart of Nebula 7, remains paramount, but if Zenith's goals diverge from ours... She let her words trail off, leaving an unspoken threat hanging in the air. Rhiannon shivered despite the warm glow emanating from the console. What do we do then? Reject her offer? Amara shrugged, a thoughtful expression on her face. Rejection can be as dangerous as acceptance. Sometimes it's better to disappear off their radars than face their wrath. She leaned closer, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. But, she added with a wicked grin, there are always more intriguing paths, routes that bypass conventional means entirely. Rhiannon felt a surge of adrenaline, mixed with a healthy dose of apprehension. I trust your judgment, she said, forcing herself to keep her voice steady despite the turbulent emotions swirling within. Amara's grin widened. Then let us wait and see what fate has in store. This game, Rhiannon, is about far more than reaching the heart of Nebula 7. Her eyes glittered with ambition, reflecting the celestial tapestry dancing before them. It's about forging our own destiny amongst the stars. Rhiannon watched as Amara returned her gaze to the map, a calculating brilliance fueling her every move. This gamble held more risks than they could possibly foresee, but alongside it came a tantalizing allure, a chance to chart their course through the cosmos, unbound by established rules and fueled by an unwavering thirst for adventure. A harsh chime resonated through the bridge, interrupting Amara's contemplation. Rhiannon spun around, her eyes drawn to the flickering signal on the console. It's a long-range transmission, Rhiannon declared, tapping at the interface. High energy readings, definitely hyperspace signature. Amara leaned closer. Frequency analysis is still processing, she muttered, her voice tight with unspoken anticipation. But the pattern matches. Rhiannon's face lit up. The Zenith-class vessel. It's responding. She glanced at Amara, a shared excitement bubbling between them. We made contact. We actually made contact. Amara returned her gaze to the console. Decipher the message, she commanded, her words clipped with a newfound urgency that settled over her features. Rhiannon nodded, fingers flying across the keyboard as lines of code scrolled across the screen before transforming into plain text. The Zenith-class vessel's call sign flashed on the display, Star Serpent. It's an invitation to meet, Rhiannon announced, her voice filled with disbelief. Location coordinates provided within the known nebula cluster. A grin spread across Amara's face, transforming her usually stoic features into something akin to elation. This changes everything, she whispered, more to herself than Rhiannon. She swiftly accessed their tactical projections of the nebula cluster, calculating distances and potential rendezvous points. Star Serpent operates within a tightly defined sector, she murmured, tapping at a projected hyperspace lane. Rhiannon followed her gaze. Is that safe? Amara dismissed her concerns with a wave of her hand. Calculated risk, she declared, her attention focused on the holographic projection. This nebula cluster is rich in rare minerals and energy sources, strategic assets they've been eager to exploit. But it's also rumored to host anomalies, unpredictable space-time distortions. She paused, a predatory glint in her eyes, the perfect meeting ground for smugglers and explorers alike. She glanced at Rhiannon, her expression shifting into one of amusement. And perhaps for us as well. Rhiannon felt a shiver run down her spine, but it was less from fear and more from the intoxicating thrill of the unknown. So, Rhiannon said, her voice laced with excitement, we head into the nebula. Amara raised an eyebrow at her, a knowing smile playing on her lips. We seize this opportunity, she corrected, her gaze hardening with determination. Star Serpent's invitation is a key to resources, knowledge, even power. Her voice lowered, dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. But the true treasure lies in understanding their motives. She turned back to the console, her fingers swift across its surface as she began charting a course through the chaotic labyrinth of nebulae. Prepare for hyperspace jump, Amara commanded, her eyes reflecting the glittering tapestry of the cosmos before them. Our journey into the heart of mystery begins now. Amara's gaze swept across the map, her face a mask of impassivity despite the storm brewing within. It's a fool's game to outrun them, she finally acknowledged, to play by their rules when survival hinges on shattering expectations. Rhiannon felt a chill course through her, mirroring the icy certainty in Amara's voice. Perhaps, but what are we left with then? Questioned Rhiannon, searching for a sliver of hope in Amara's resolute demeanor. Facing their wrath, Amara leaned closer, her eyes gleaming with an unsettling fire. "It's better to disappear off their radars than face their wrath," she murmured, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "But," she added with a wicked grin, "there are always more intriguing paths, routes that bypass conventional means entirely." Rhiannon felt a surge of adrenaline, mixed with apprehension. "I trust your judgment," she said, forcing herself to keep her voice steady despite the tumultuous feelings swirling within. Amara's grin widened. "Then let us wait and see what fate has in store. This game, Rhiannon, is about far more than reaching the heart of Nebula 7. Amara's gaze swept across the star-charted expanse before them. "It's about forging our own destiny amongst the stars." Rhiannon watched as Amara refocused on the map, a calculating brilliance fueling every move. This gamble held more risks than they could possibly foresee, but alongside it came a tantalizing allure, a chance to chart their course through the cosmos, unbound by established rules and fueled by an unwavering thirst for adventure. A harsh chime resonated through the bridge, interrupting Amara's contemplation. Rhiannon whipped around, her gaze drawn to the flickering signal on the console. "It's a long-range transmission," Rhiannon declared, tapping at the interface. "High-energy readings, definitely hyperspace signature." Amara leaned closer. "Frequency analysis is still processing," she muttered, her voice tight with unspoken anticipation. "But the pattern matches." Rhiannon's face lit up. "The Zenith-class vessel. It's responding." She glanced at Amara, a shared excitement bubbling between them. "We made contact. We actually made contact." Amara returned her gaze to the console. "Decipher the message," she commanded, her words clipped with urgency that settled over her features. Rhiannon nodded, fingers flying across the keyboard as lines of code scrolled across the screen before transforming into plain text. The Zenith-class vessel's call sign flashed on the display. Star Serpent. "It's an invitation to meet," Rhiannon announced, her voice filled with disbelief. "Location coordinates provided within the known nebula cluster." A grin spread across Amara's face, transforming her usually stoic features into something akin to elation. "This changes everything," she whispered, more to herself than Rhiannon. She swiftly accessed their tactical projections of the nebula cluster, calculating distances and potential rendezvous points. "Star Serpent operates within a tightly defined sector," she murmured, tapping at a projected hyperspace lane. Rhiannon followed her gaze. "Is that safe?" Amara dismissed her concerns with a wave of her hand. "Calculated risk," she declared, her attention focused on the holographic projection. "This nebula cluster is rich in rare minerals and energy sources, strategic assets they've been eager to exploit, but it's also rumored to host anomalies, unpredictable space-time distortions." She paused, a predatory glint in her eyes, the perfect meeting ground for smugglers and explorers alike. She glanced at Rhiannon, her expression shifting into one of amusement, and perhaps for us as well. Rhiannon felt a shiver run down her spine, but it was less from fear and more from the intoxicating thrill of the unknown. "So," Rhiannon said, her voice laced with excitement, "we head into the nebula?" Amara raised an eyebrow at her, a knowing smile playing on her lips. "We seize this opportunity," she corrected, her gaze hardening with determination. "Star Serpent's invitation is a key to resources, knowledge, even power." Her voice lowered, dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "But the true treasure lies in understanding their motives." She turned back to the console, her fingers swift across its surface as she began charting a course through the chaotic labyrinth of nebulae. "Prepare for hyperspace jump," Amara commanded, her eyes reflecting the glittering tapestry of the cosmos before them. "We enter a new realm." The crimson glow of Nebula 7 cast long, flickering shadows across their workspace. Amara's fingers danced over the console, her face illuminated by the vibrant constellations scrolling across its surface. Rhiannon leaned closer, her gaze fixed on the animated projection of a swirling nebula cluster, a cosmic kaleidoscope teeming with untold mysteries. "Are we sure this is wise?" she questioned, her voice barely audible above the hum of the ship's engines. Amara spared her a fleeting glance, her eyes burning with an unyielding resolve. "Doubt breeds weakness," she countered, her voice crisp and clear. "Star Serpent's motives remain shrouded in secrecy. But this nebula is a crossroads, Rhiannon, a nexus of power where the known laws bend and break. She let silence hang heavy between them, savoring the unspoken thrill that pulsed through the bridge. A sharp ping resonated from the console, drawing their attention back to the pulsing holographic display. Incoming transmission, Rhiannon announced, her voice laced with cautious curiosity. Encrypted, but I'm cracking it. A wave of static crackled through the speakers before a deep, resonant voice boomed. Amara, we await your arrival at coordinates. Prepare for engagement. The serpent anticipates. Amara's lips curved into a thin smile. Engagement? Rhiannon echoed, her brow furrowed with concern. What does that mean? Amara's icy gaze remained locked on the screen. It means, she whispered, her voice barely audible above the ship's hum, the game has truly begun. Without hesitation, Amara punched a series of commands into the console. Charts flickered to life, projections of the swirling nebula cluster filling the display. Calculate optimal hyperspace trajectory, she commanded, her focus unwavering, the bridge filled with the whine of straining warp coils as the stars around them dissolved into a dizzying swirl of light and color. Inside, Rhiannon gripped the edge of her console, eyes fixed on the chaotic vortex unfolding before them. But even amidst the disorienting shift, Amara remained composed, a silent observer navigating the treacherous currents of interstellar space. The journey felt agonizingly long. Every flicker of the display, every shudder of the ship's hull heightened Rhiannon's apprehension. What was waiting for them beyond this hyperspace veil? Were they walking into a trap or towards a destiny more profound than either could have imagined? Prepare for deceleration, Amara finally commanded, her voice sharp and firm. As the swirling nebula coalesced back into recognizable shapes, Rhiannon felt a surge of adrenaline jolt through her system. The star serpent awaited. A symphony of hissing gas and crackling plasma filled the bridge as Nebula 7, a swirling inferno of crimson and violet, engulfed them. Rhiannon strained to peer through the shimmering veil of cosmic dust, her breath catching in her throat at the sight. The nebula pulsed with an internal rhythm, a silent giant breathing life into the cosmos. It's breathtaking, she managed, her voice barely audible above the ship's hum. But even amidst this vibrant beauty, Rhiannon felt a creeping unease. Amara, bathed in the eerie glow of the console screens, remained stoic yet alert. Stunning, but deadly, she replied, her gaze unwavering from the holographic projections dancing across the interface. The serpent chooses its lair wisely. A sharp ping resonated through the bridge, snapping Rhiannon's attention back to Amara's face. She saw a flicker, not of fear, but of anticipation, mirrored in the glint of steel-blue eyes as they studied the incoming transmission. Star Serpent initiates direct link, Rhiannon announced, her voice laced with professional neutrality. A holographic projection flickered to life above the console, displaying a swirling vortex of energy that coalesced into the face of an alien being. Its skin shimmered like polished obsidian, its eyes twin points of cold, calculating fire. A low, guttural voice echoed through the bridge, heavily modulated by some unseen technology. Amara, it rasped, each word laden with power and intent. The game has begun. Your choices will shape the fate of not just yourself, but this entire sector. Amara met the alien's gaze head-on, her expression unwavering, though a subtle predatory gleam had ignited in her eyes. Shape our own, she corrected, her voice as clear and sharp as shattered glass. We are not pawns to play, Serpent. We forge our path. A low hissing sound filled the bridge as the holographic projection flickered, the alien's facial features contorting into a sneer of veiled amusement. The nebula holds many secrets, Amara, it whispered. Secrets that can be used, secrets that can be broken. Show me your true hand, and I will show you mine. The transmission cut abruptly, leaving only the soft hum of the ship and the echoing silence of Rhiannon's mounting tension. Amara turned to Rhiannon, a ghost of a smile playing on her lips. Let us explore these secrets, she murmured, her voice devoid of hesitation. The Star Serpent intends to play his game. Let us see if it is one we can win.